Now I made a whole made a whole Instagram live video. They cut me straight up when I start talking about politics. My words be too strong sometimes, I guess, or people, you know what I'm trying to say. People be too strong sometimes when they say stuff or make too much sense. But yeah, how do I start back from the beginning? I was talking about relationships and stuff like that and a sacred marriage or whatever. The first thing I was talking about what influenced my decisions in life. And that's pretty much the commandments of the Most High. Be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth. But since we can't replenish the earth and earth is dying, like a body that gets wounded and the wound is too deep to heal, then you end up dying. You know, sometimes you get wounded and you can heal, but you still gotta die. That's what it's like. So we can't replenish the world, but we can be fruitful and multiply. So from those two commandments of being fruitful, right living, learning the ways of living right to that the Most High Creator wants, and then sacred marriage, husbandry work, which is farm work, and restoring the world, bringing a recycling system or a maintenance system back to the world, or whatever the case. That is my desire. Oh, that's the part I want to play in the Most High's creation. Even though there's people out here that's evil that work against that. They want to be gods themselves over the Most High, knowing they can't. Hoping that you don't realize that. Anyway, yeah, that's what influenced my decisions. That be fruitful and multiply. And what I'm commanded to do now is to find a wife. I'm supposed to find a wife. I'm not supposed to just be sitting here or whatever the case. I'm supposed to be making efforts to find a wife that I can be in a sacred marriage with. And also, I have a promise to fulfill. If I can fulfill it, I can. If I can, I can't. I have 9 years to fulfill it, as in proving to the Most High Father that I'm a good father and a good husband. I can be a good father and a good husband, and be a friend of Him. That's what I want to be. I want to be a friend to the Most High Creator. As I saw in the scriptures, He was friends to certain people like Abraham and stuff like that. He was friends to them. Came down and visited them. It was a friend of Masha too. Spoke to him face to face like a friend. So that's what I want to be, a friend of the Most High, where I can also, upgrade myself and be called a family member, like, a son or something like that, or restore my position back to being a son. I don't want to be sitting here just nobody or whatever. So that's what influenced my decisions. And so from that, the only thing I'm trying to do in life is be sacredly married and prove that I can be a good father and a good husband. And that's all I want to do. Whatever comes with that, comes with that. But that's basic. That's very simple. I don't want a lot of extra stuff, little detailed stuff. And I want this car, that car. I want this kind of house. I want this and these. I'm not thinking about that. Stuff comes like that comes with the thing that the Most High desires for you to have is a sacred marriage. He wants you to have a sacred marriage and be a good husband, a pious husband, and a pious father, to raise your children as candles to be lit in the world. That's what the desire, so that the world can be spread out with a lot of candles that when He light them, the atmosphere cleanses through the aroma. The aroma cleanses the atmosphere of demons and evils and stuff just by them being lights in the world and being kindled, going wherever throughout the four corners. So you got to understand that thing too. And then we're like on a back end where we falling apart and we fading away more and more and more. So more evil is pushing back and killing people. The pandemic coming out, killing people. More evil is manifesting. You know what I'm saying? And more sicknesses and diseases that's killing people is manifesting due to the spiritual warfare of evil pushing back holiness. And people not caring. They just want to conquer stuff with evil. So that's what influenced my decisions in life. I only make decisions to do that. So whenever I do something or make a decision, know that the overall thing that's influencing me is being a father and a husband that serve the Most High Yah and do what He pleases, the one who made all things. All right. Then there was another question about in-laws, sacred marriage, in-laws. It's a few questions or a few things that people presented to me. The in-laws. I think Sister Z, Miss Z, yeah, I'm saying Miss Z had presented that about in-laws. Like, how do you feel about in-laws or whatever the case, which is a mandatory part of sacred marriage. It's mandatory that you be accepted by the in-laws. However, you have special cases where you have an evil world and your parents are not serving the Most High Yah. They could be the most evil people out there. They party in club all the time, get drunk all the time. You know what I'm saying? They smoke themselves to death. Like smoking okay, drinking okay, but they overdo everything. You know what I'm saying? They have no balance with themselves. So they're more so on leaning on the wrong side a lot. And so they're not the type of parents that would be considered, parents. They just have children. And so you marry this woman that has turned a leaf and she's living a pious life or whatever the case, and she's not like everybody else in the family, and they looking at her like, you acting all brand new and all this, all that type stuff, and you're trying to meet her. Still, you meet the parents because the parents being evil or being not good people, in their mind, they assume that everybody's like them, doing what they do, falling off, not perfect, all this stuff people say to make you think that you can't be good or whatever because they're not living it or they're not good at the moment or whatever the case, whatever conviction they got on themselves, that's how you see when people be quick to, well, nobody's perfect, which means that they got something going on with themselves. You need to stay away. All right. When you jump to say that, nobody even said anything, and you jump to say that thing, you told on yourself. So when you meet the parents, even though they could be that type of people, nobody perfect, they still will see the goodness in you. Evil can see good, even though evil is not good. They can tell when good comes. So you being good can still come to evil parents, and they can still accept you because they'll love their daughter or son and be like, or, they'll love their relative and be like, you know what? You're a good person or whatever. You got some good in you, da-da-da. Nobody got nothing crazy to say or whatever. You somebody good that my daughter can be with or my son can be with, whatever the case. So they'll see it. So in the same thing with good parents, they'll see it too. You know what I'm saying? So when you good and they'll see evil when they see evil and be like, nah, I don't think so, whatever. Or they might accept you. When evil family, they just might accept you. Or let things slide or let you go on about your business and get yourself into some kind of trouble or get caught up or whatever, having children by some evil man or whatever, and now you left out, and then they'll use that against you later, like, see, and like to try to, show you what life is about, the difficulties of life by allowing you to go through some crazy stuff like that instead of forewarn you. Anyway, it can go different ways. You know what I'm saying? Go those two different ways. But in-laws are important. You must get acceptance from them. You can't just take somebody and go do your own thing. You can't do that because the family's gonna be like, oh, what happened to so and so? Like nobody came to us. We didn't get the approval of the person. They don't know if you dangerous on both sides, the man side and the woman side. Like they don't know. Like you took my son. Who's this girl or whatever? Like I don't know if this girl trying to get him caught up, play a game with him, trying to get him robbed, get him killed. Like I don't know what this woman about. It could be the same thing on the man side. I don't know what's going on. Like this guy trying to take my daughter or whatever, like, or take whatever, my sister or something like that, and bada bop. It can be that if you don't get acceptance. They don't know what you about, because then it could be where people previously came and like messed up, and so the next person got to prove themselves or whatever the case, or show some kind of signs or whatever to somebody to be approved of, so that everybody can be like, oh, okay, and calm down because they knew what happened before with previous people. You can't just be jumping and taking people and like, oh, I'm just this bada bop whatever. You can't just do that, You got to get approval, and I know that. You know what I'm saying? When you have a daughter, it's the same way like when you have a daughter. You're not going to let your daughter be with some young man, or you're not going to let your son be with some young girl without meeting their parents and knowing the type of person they are, whatever the case. The only difference is when your daughter or your son loves somebody or whatever, you put more effort into getting to know that young person that they love. And you put effort into trying to help their character. If you are a good person and you're a holy person, you have words of healing and solutions. So what you'll end up doing is caring about the person that your daughter care about, or caring about the woman that your son care about, and you'll try to take them on as a daughter or a son yourself, and you'll play a part of a father-in-law or a mother-in-law and try to feed into her, or pour into her words of wisdom and encouragement and advice and things like that to help them on the way. Or they'll be the type of person that's just utterly not good for them, and you'll try to push them away. Or they'll be so good that it's nothing that you really can say. You're just so proud already. Like, I'm proud already that you with a person like this. I'm honored that you with this type of person. You know what I'm saying? Or that my son or that my daughter was able to be with someone of such a high caliber or such an honorable person that is, you know what I'm saying? Like this, like I feel good. They start to feel good. They feel they can lift their head up and look around like, yeah, my daughter got, or my son got somebody that's, they feel better. So in-laws is important. It's important. Okay, the Torah law is that you're not allowed to do that because of the dowry. That's the basic way. You know what I'm saying? When you're a virgin already, you got to pay the dowry of a virgin, and you can basically take the woman to be your wife because you're taking the property of the father, and the daughter helps the father in different ways, you know, when it comes to income and things around the house, whatever the case. So you do need to, you know, get permission from the father. You can't just take somebody because they're available. Even if they grown, you still got to get acceptance of the family because you're taking someone in their family and they don't know what's going on or this, that, and the third. And then like, well, what's going on? Where my sister at? Or where my brother at? Or where my this at? Or where that at? And they got to search for you, find you, like, and then they feeling some kind of way because they don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's trauma. People care, but people are good at hiding their feelings and emotions. So you got to be careful. You know, you got to be very family oriented when you're talking about getting married. You can't just be like, yeah, we're gonna get married and forget them because they're not like us. Can't do that because your family can look out for you even if whether they're good or not. They can look out for you, tell you, give you full warnings of somebody for you or not. Also, the thing that you want to look out for that's more critical that I said yesterday in a video that I deleted these videos. I'm just doing it again. I said that incest is a key that people don't like to talk about that, but you see it all day long. You see it all day long, but you don't like talking about it. People love hiding it because they know it's wrong, but you doing it like it's not wrong. You know what I'm saying? And then you get mad like it's not wrong, but you know what I'm saying? But it's, you know, what you did wrong. So people don't like talking about it. And why people don't like talking about it? Probably because the majority of the people feel like they do it too. And they feel like, all right, well, I don't blame you or something like that. Nevertheless, what the Most High wants, there's a balance to everything, but you not knowing the balance of things or knowing how to advise people or what is accepted and not accepted, you'll just sweep things under the rug right with them. And so you need people like me that's a rabbi to basically help people with these types of issues instead of random people that don't know what to do or know what to say, sweeping it under the rug with you and just letting things slide and then letting you fall into a more of a big mess, a bigger and bigger mess or whatever the case, ruining your life, ruining yourself. So with incest, you want to be careful. I'm going to just say it on this side because when you perform incest or whatever the case, you can't have children. Even if you have children, they're not going to be children from heaven. The Most High don't allow people to have children from heaven. They're going to be children from hell or demons to mess your life up or make your life miserable or something like that when it's out of wedlock or when it's incest, different things like that. When it's not done right, the Most High cause a curse to be brought about and you got to fix it some kind of way or realize your error and try to repair it some kind of way so that you can fix it or repair your situation. But with incest, it's a little bit more, the curse is a little bit more tight because you burn yourselves. Brothers and sisters, just on the most serious level is brother and sister. Like they burn themselves, they burn their soul. And what end up happening is that when they come around each other, they can't resist one another. Their stomachs burn too hot that they can't resist. Like you don't have a stomach no more. And your stomach's where your soul is at. It's like your soul is burnt up or your soul is deformed. You look like an ugly zombie looking thing in your soul, you know, because you're performing incest. And if ever you had got pregnant through an incestuous situation, it's going to be a demon baby. It is. It's going to be a 100% demon. It is. And demons can be sophisticated and all that. You'll never know. But it's going to be a demon. They're never going to find a way of the Most High Creator. They're going to always be contending with you. They're going to be your problem. You know what I'm saying? Unless you can, I don't know. They're just going to be your problem. And it's worse than being a child born out of wedlock. Because now they don't know if to say uncle or to say father. You know what I'm saying? They're like, you're a funkle. That's my funkle. You know what I'm saying? Or you say it's crazy. It's like, that's my aunt. Like, that's my aunt. It's not just like my mother, but it's my aunt too. Like, nah. So you messing up. You got funkles going on around. You got fathers and daughters. You know, you got mothers and sons that are biological. And what's going on is like you got bruns in the oven. And the brun in the oven is the father with the baby in the stomach because it's so backwards to do that to your daughter. But then you have your situations where, then you have people that come around and want to be with somebody. For example, they could get in arguments and stuff, whatever case, like relationships, whatever could happen. Like what happened to me twice. Both my ex-wives had incestuous issues, and they tried to move on in their life with somebody like me, but I was the person, I ain't want to be with them at all. The first thing I ever said to both my ex-wives before I even got into talking to them was, I don't want to be with you. I don't know you. I'm not interested. Please take no for an answer. Couldn't take no for an answer. Because these two women could not take no for an answer, they were basically being rapists or forceful. You know what I'm saying? Being forceful, which is rape. Like, not taking no for an answer, I'm going to have you regardless. I'm going to do whatever it takes, say whatever I got to say, no matter what's going on in my life, I'm going to have you. Regardless if I hurt your feelings or not, you're going to give me what I want from you. And so that is rape. That's how women rape men. They do whatever, say whatever to get the man. Men just manhandle a woman and whatever the case, throw money in her face or whatever. Anyway, so that happened to me twice. And so me not knowing, being still green in that area of marriage, not thinking that people are disrespect. I'm old school, so marriage is so important to me that I'm expecting people to look at marriage the same way I look at marriage, like as the most sacred thing. You don't play whatever, you don't flip, you don't this, you don't that, you just straight. Marriage is the most straight thing you got to be when you go into it, because that's your peace. That's the only thing that you're going to have to bring you peace in your household, so that when you go outside and do all this stupid flipping and game plan and stuff like that, you come back home to your spouse and that's the only place you have a straight peace and love and joy. That's the only place you can get refreshed at. The only holy place where there's no games to be played at. And that's how I looked at it. And so people, I guess, didn't look at it the same way, or my two ex-wives didn't look at it the same way. And so with the in-law situation, you have incest. And with that incest is a burn that cannot be healed. And so you got to get away. Once you find out, you got to divorce. You have to instantly divorce the woman or divorce the man that have an incestuous issue. You know, they got a problem. They can't shake that thing. They burn. And every time they come around that family member, they want to pull that dick out, or they want to have sex, or they, you know what I'm saying? They get caught up into that whatever. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that you worry about with in-laws is cousins. That's the only thing that's accepted. But even in that, when you get married to somebody and they have a cousin that get jealous, you need to know that ahead of time. But if you don't know that that's part of the Torah law, that the Most High accepts, that you must consider your cousin before you go to an outside source. If you don't know that, you can get caught up with that too. You know, but what happens is, when you make your marriage vows and stuff like that, and you already in that situation, you must stay in that situation. You can't override it. You know what I'm saying? What you do is it's different things that you do when you end up getting caught up or whatever in a situation. You know, you got to make the best of it or whatever. Each case is its own case or its individual case. So I don't want to get too in depth, but I just want to stay general. So, but what I'm trying to really say is, when you see an incestuous situation, you get out of there, because it's going to be a situation that's going to burn you to the core. It's going to cut you, because in that, the woman or the man don't care nothing about you. Like, you're loving them so hard, and you putting every effort into loving your spouse or loving your wife or your husband, even your children that come forth out of it. What it can even happen is that the sibling can even end up getting pregnant or having children by the person that you with instead of you. I'm saying, you could be with a woman thinking that the baby yours, but it's the brother's. You know what I'm saying? You can be with the brother and having sex with him, and his sister end up pregnant, but not knowing that the sister is pregnant by the brother too. So she's jealous that you got pregnant by her brother, so she did something to her brother to get herself pregnant by her brother, just like you got pregnant. And so it didn't come out until they tried to move on. That's why I realized in those two relationships was that a person that has incestuous issues cannot move on. No matter what they say or what they try to tell you or what you might think, that they can't move on, because when that sibling come around and they start to see their brother or sister or whatever the case with that person, married or not, they start to burn and anger and stuff like that, and they start doing things like forcefully or whatever behind your back or whatever, instead of just come out and say what it is. They'll do it behind your back and at the cost of your pain, not caring at all about your pain. They'll even kill you. You know what I'm saying? Without that, they're not caring at the fact that you got caught up in the situation off a lie. They looking at, they just want their sister back or their brother back. They not looking at, oh, my bad, bro, that you got messed up or they did this or like, but this is like, they can't say that because it's a whole completely wrong relationship that you in. So they can't come out and be like, sorry that they said what they said to you, but this is my girl or this is my man and da 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 da. You know, they can't do that. So they got to be secretive or whatever, and kill you privately or kill you on the low or try to kill you some kind of special way so that they can be together or do crazy stuff like get pregnant by their brother or that's, you know, try to get pregnant by the sibling, you know, to whatever. They can get very disrespectful. And if that's what you consider a blood red flag, incest is a blood red flag, and the person cannot move on. Run away. Run so far away, no matter what they say. Like, I love you so much and all this, but as soon as you see that sibling come around and they start being all funny and they creeping around too much or they stealthing too much, like, there's no way that you should be talking to your sibling in a secretive way. Like, you should not be stealthing around somebody. Like, for example, if you're in love with a woman or you're in love with a man or whatever, and you married to him and all this and all that, next thing you know, you see this long lost sister, whatever the case, that it wasn't, haven't been around, or whatever the situation could be. You see the sister start acting funny. The sister don't ever talk to your husband around you. They always wait till they go somewhere else or wait till you gone to talk, or when you go in another room, or try to find a way to get away from you. Like, I need to put these clothes upstairs real quick, knowing that the sibling just went upstairs too. They'll do it right in front of your face. I need to put this upstairs real quick or something like that. Or I need to put this away. I'll be right back. I'm going to the kitchen, knowing that the sibling's in the kitchen. And then they can talk and kiss and hug or whatever, be angry at each other. And then they come back out like ain't nothing happened. Then the other sibling come back out, don't say nothing to you. Also, the sibling never converse with you. They never show love to you. It's always a contention. It's always contesting you, contending with you. They always trying to challenge you. They never want to see good in you. They never want to see that you have the potential to love them. They can't let go. It's extreme envy. That the sister is their sister or their brother is their brother. They don't belong to them in that way. You know what I'm saying? And that is 100% gonna destroy you. So you want to run away as soon as you find out. You know what I'm saying? But beforehand, in this evil system called America, since the incest is so prevalent, what you want to do is know ahead of time whether they got brothers and sisters and how close in age they are, whatever the case, so that you can know if it's that type of situation or it's like a Pampers type situation. Like, you take care of your brother like that's your son, or you take care of your brother, or that's your brother like y'all together. You know what I'm saying? Automatically assume it's the wrong thing when they too close in age. You know what I'm saying? And what you want to do is keep your eye out. Keep the balance, but keep an eye out, because you know you live in America and people aren't serving the Most High Yah. Even if they do serve the Most High Yah, keep your guard up and look for that thing. Look for them being potentially having that ancestral situation. And, you know, and if you find any kind of clues or you see that over time that you never talk, you know what I'm saying? There's no genuine love coming out of the relationship as far as the sibling, like you're not being accepted or whatever, run. Just run. Get out of there. Start looking for somebody else or whatever the case and be like, look, I don't think this working out, because, or just spring it up like, what's up with your brother? Or what's up with your sister? Like, why she don't never talk or whatever. It could be a girl. Why your sister don't never like talking? Why she always distant? And what was going on? He ain't gonna do nothing but say, oh, she just like that. You know, when the whole time he loving it. Fact that the sister is getting envious that you with somebody. And that when you bring her around, she's instantly feeling tight. Like, why you bring this B around? Bada, bada, bada. That's my D. All in her heart and her soul, she feeling like, that's my dick. Da, 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 da. And if ever you walk away with that girl, you come back around, she's going to try to find a way to rape you and try to basically get you to break up with that girl or something like that. So what you end up doing is you end up cursing yourself. Their family end up cursing themselves to where they can't live life. Because what you going to do? Grow up, be grown adults, but you're going to get an apartment, a house, have a nice family and children. It's going to be a big mess, because eventually you're going to be having sex. You're going to have children. You're not going to get married. Then you got to deal with bills and issues in life. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be worse for you. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a mess. You're never going to be able to be open about your relationship or nothing, because it's going to be too much of a shame. But what America's trying to do is make it normalized to be incestuous, to the point where people can come out with it, come out and be like, oh, you know, I'm with my brother and all this and all that, and people don't care about it, like LGBTQ, so that the brothers and sisters that are in incestuous situations can basically come out and be quote unquote married and have children without that conviction or whatever from the Most High. So that's what America do. It normalizes things that's wrong. But that's one that's one thing that's always going to be not normalized, you know. But there is one special case. There's only one special case, which is why they even made the attempt to normalize it. Why they even made it like incest could be incest or not incest, you know. And they made it porn for the moment, because there's one special case only. And I'm not going to say that, because everybody out here is pretty much incestuous the wrong way. And they're not serving the Most High Yah. So I'm not going to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'll start seeing people that are serving the Most High Yah and start seeing good per intentions. Then I might bring that one special case out that you only can possibly come to the Most High about. All right. But other than that, no. So that's that one. In-laws. You know, you want to make sure that you're good with the in-laws when you are talking to somebody, you know. And so when you marry them, you're already accepted by the family, but you want to look out for those incestuous situations to where the family look at that or whatever. Or you want to look out for money hungry type family members where they only look at relationships as based off of how much money you make. Look at these key things. Look as if, you know, you got to watch out for materialistic family members, all that stuff you got to look out for, you know, and depict your acceptance or not by the type of parents you're dealing with. Like, that person got a mother that's only like materialistic. They looking at you like, depending on how much income you make, they accept you to be with their daughter or not, even if the daughter gonna be forceful and be with you anyway. They still might accept you or not accept you depending on your income. You want to stay away from that, because marriage is not about having a lot of income, because you can have all the income in the world and lose it all. After you've been married for 5 years or 4 years, your income could go away. Stop assuming that everything will always be good all the time. You got to have your up and your down, for good and better. That's why you say that. Sickness and health, for better, for worse, because at some point things could get bad for you. The country could go into a pandemic and people could lose their jobs and you ain't got no money, and you know what I'm saying? Then you try to get on unemployment. Then when they try to pick back up, they cut off unemployment on you, and all this stuff happen. You end up poor and homeless or some dumb mess. The job cut you off on some dumb mess. All this type of issues you're dealing with can end up messing your marriage up. And if you're not understanding that these different miscellaneous things come, you know what I'm saying, you're going to be getting married for the wrong reasons. So when you get married just for money, you're not looking at it like issues going to come. You're looking at it like, I want to make sure this person going to always have money, instead of looking at, I want to make sure this person always love me, so that no matter what happens or what we go through, I'm always going to be loved. They're always going to make sure that I'm taken care of and we can pick ourselves back up no matter what, even if we got to be apart for some time or not. So that's that. What was the next thing? With sacred marriage, in-laws. Let me check.